Good morning, YouTube. We are finally back. I know it's been a little bit of time. It's been just about 2 weeks since our last video, and that was before Republic. So there's a lot to catch up on. Um, Honestly, we just been super busy. Lots been going on. We obviously had show weekend, which we're going to recap here in a second. We had family come into town. For a lot of you guys that follow us, family and friends, or just on IG, you guys know we dropped the biggest news. My wife Alex is pregnant. I'm gonna be dad. She's me and mom. Crazy. So we've just been doing all of that. But finally, today was a good day for us to um, pick back up on the YouTube, just because we thought it'd be a good video to film the refeed I'm having today. So we're testing some new things out. We're about to be 2 weeks out tomorrow. So what we're gonna do today is I did the math. My coach doesn't necessarily give me the actual calories, but we're looking at about like 650 grams of carbs a day. It's going to be basically like three heavier meals before training. We're going to really load early, make sure we can get a good amount of food in before we train. And then as the day goes on, as we go into the nighttime, we're going to taper the food down, just to help with digestion when we're not moving as much and we're not doing it as much. So that's what we're going to show you today. Right now, we're just going on our daily morning walk. If I'm not doing fastest cardio in the morning, I'm usually doing a walk first thing before I eat. Um, I also checked in this morning. I was about 195 pounds on the dot, probably the most peeled and at the same time most depleted I've been this prep. So it was honestly, it was a really good time to get this refeed in, because I feel like my body's just gonna soak it up. And then we'll also just see how, we'll also probably just show you how I look in the gym today. Okay, so before we get into all the refeed stuff, like I said, I was gonna recap Republic. Um, I was very happy with how I looked on stage. It was the best look we've ever had in my whole career, best I've ever looked. So the peak went really well. Their placing wise and results wise, there's 31 competitors. I ended up right outside of the top 10. Top 10. I was 11th. 10th place beat me by 1 point. So obviously not what we wanted, not what I was expecting. I was expecting to be in that first call outs, but after evaluating, after digesting everything, I'm still happy with how things ended up. Um, the guys in the first call outs were all guys that have been proven veterans, guys in the sport that have been, doing their thing for a while, a few Olympians. So it's not like I was just going up against other guys that were, how would you say, just not as proven as those guys. So it was a very respectable lineup. So landing in 11th and being right there for my first show, I'm not mad about it. Um, Now we've talked to my coach, I've talked to Alex, we've decided what we're going to do next game plan wise. I'm To catch you guys up, I'm now again about 2 weeks out of the Texas Pro in Dallas. So these last 2 weeks, have been pushing it, getting back on diet and dieting down hard again to where um, I'm right around, like I said, 195, which is about already 8 to 10 pounds um, lighter than I was going to Republic Peak Week, right? So we've already made a ton of progress. And then after Texas Pro, 2 weeks after that, I'm gonna go travel to Northern California and do the Santa Cruz Pro. And then a week after that, we're gonna round it out and compete again in McAllen, Texas for the RGV Pro. So those are the three shows that I have lined up next. There's one more I have in mind. It's in September. That's going to be in Washington. It's called the Sasquatch Pro. We're going to lock that in just based on how these next three shows go first. My main focus right now is Texas, is to get better for that. And I feel like we've already done that, and I still have 2 more weeks to go. So that is the plan as of right now. Okay, so just to give you guys some, blah, blah, blah. All right, now back to today's diet again. Just wanted to give you guys some insight on, the refeed and why we do it and whatnot. So for us and my coach, we've found that, I can do cheat meals from time to time, like early on in the prep, but as we get deeper into the prep and closer to showtime, don't really find it as beneficial for me. We found I'm super responsive to just literally adding more food to my baseline diet. Um, like jasmine rice and creamy rice for me digest super, super well. I have no issues getting it down and then it doing what it needs to do. So when you find something that works, it doesn't necessarily always have to be the fun, crazy stuff. When you feel like you need a cheat meal or a refeed. It's just you find what works and then you stick to it. Um, you're gonna see the meals I have for today, but I'll kind of break it down for you, like in terms of simplicity. Like all 5 meals today are either just gonna be jasmine rice or cream of rice, and a lot of it. So first meal, we're gonna do 200 grams of cream of rice with my normal eggs and egg whites. Meal two is gonna be chicken breast, 5 ounce, normal portions for protein, and then 500 grams of jasmine rice. With now, for a lot of people, that sounds like a lot, but we've actually already tested that amount for me multiple times these past few weeks, and it just goes down like butter, very, very smooth on my stomach, no bloating. So again, if you find what works, use that to your advantage and rinse and repeat. There's no need to start trying other things if you don't need to. Then pre-workout meal, meal three, is going to be another 200 grams of cream of rice measured with protein powder. My normal 1.5 servings. We're actually going to take out the peanut butter just because we don't want anything to kind of slow things down right now with the high amount of carbs. So I should have enough food in my system going to training that I don't need to worry about glycogen storage being burned through because there's just so much built up for the day. Um, and then meal four and five, like I mentioned earlier, are going to be now tapered down. So instead of 500 grams of jasmine rice, we're going to do 300 grams of jasmine rice. Again, just to aid in digestion, we've done a couple smaller refeeds, and we noticed that as the day goes on, it's not that my digestion's bad, but it slows down. So like I said, we load it up early, and then we're gonna slow it down as we get into the evening time. All right, first meal of the day is ready to go down. I got everything here that I need. So again, just to run through it, what I have here is 8 ounces of liquid measured egg whites, 2 whole eggs, and I do about 30 grams of spinach and 20 grams of mushrooms. Then over here, carbs for the day, I have 100 grams measured of chocolate brownie rice and grinds, and then another 100 grams measured of maple waffle rice and grinds. Super excited for that. I mean, you guys know how much I love my cream of rice, and to get 200 grams is that's that's heaven. Also got my coffee. Now let me tell you about this too. So before I met Alex, I was never a coffee guy all the way up until like I was like even past college, rarely drank coffee. And then she got me into drinking coffee, and I drink the coffee here and there, and then slowly build up over the years. But now, especially with this Nespresso machine that she got us, I'm actually obsessed. Putting a little bit of protein powder in there, and it's like I've become one of those people that first thing in the morning, it's the first thing I look forward to. So it's first cup of Joe, first sip to start things off. Yeah, see, that hits every time. All right, time to dig in. See you guys in the next meal. Okay, so what is up, guys? It is about 9:20, and we are getting our second meal prepared right now. So what we have for this meal two is we're doing our normal 5 ounces of chicken, which I'm measuring out right now, and then we got 500 grams of jasmine rice on the pan right here, with about 50 grams of veggies. I split it up between 30 grams of asparagus and about 20 grams of chopped up bell peppers. So what I like to do is, when I'm in prep, I actually really take the time to make my food taste good. I think it allows me to be able to prep better just because I don't feel like I'm eating dog food or dirt food. So heat up everything on the pan. I feel like heating everything up on the pan is a lot better than the microwave. Obviously, if I'm, pressed on time, I'm gonna hit the microwave. But if I got the time, which most days I do, I'm gonna heat everything up on the pan, get it a little bit more seasoned, and then, eat from there. Um, Another thing to note with this refeed, typically right now, like this meal two chicken and rice meal would be 250 grams of rice. So we're essentially doubling the amount of carbs for this meal. And as you can tell, even from meal one to meal two, these first two meals of the day are pretty heavy. Um, we're trying to load it up before training, but also we've found that earlier in the day, my digestion is better than trying to load the food at night. So that's also one of the things that we're trying and experimenting with, which is just loading the food early. And then as the day goes on, the food's going to get smaller and smaller, I guess, carb intake wise, because at night when I'm not moving as much or I'm not doing as much, obviously digestion's just a little bit slower. So I'm going to mix this up real quick. I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper because I honestly love pepper on everything. And then I'm gonna already mix in my pink salt, which is 1/4 teaspoon pink salt with every single meal. Something I didn't show is how I actually season the chicken, and this is one of the things I've figured out this prep is to meal prep chicken a specific way that 10 years into prepping, like this is actually my favorite way of seasoning, which is black pepper, garlic, light on both, primarily the garlic pretty light, but heavy on paprika and cumin. And then I also sprinkle in a little bit of this Indian curry seasoning, and the combination of spices and flavors. I've never enjoyed my chicken so much in prep, and I know a lot of you guys hate chicken in prep, so it could be something you could try, but it is a different flavor profile, so it might not hit, but for me, it's one of my favorites. Where did we get this from? I think Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. I think Whole Foods. It had, yeah, I don't remember that being like a Trader Joe brand. Oh, here.
Maybe Sprouts.
Maybe. But this is how it kind of looks. I got some more left that I got to cook later, but it gives it that nice little flavor. All sodium free, so nothing that you have to worry about, and I can do that all the way deep into prep. Usually once I'm like 7 to 10 days out, I'll go to just cooking everything a little bit plainer, or maybe not, because again, to me, if everything is working and the sodium's being controlled, then I don't really have to worry about, messing with anything. I like to keep everything the same when everything is working, and so does my coach. Cool, so this is pretty much done. I'm just gonna plate it, and then show you the sauces that I use too for this meal specifically. Look at that mountain of food. Just show it real quick. Just a little zoom in. And then final touches. So these are the two sauces I like using with this meal. Good old classic sriracha. And then honey mustard from New Sauce, which This is something I've tried this year that I really like. Brand new sauce. I've never had it before, but it's stuck. And for me, guys, I know not everyone does it. I believe that every variable counts, especially as you get closer to the show. So I measure even my sauces. So here, for me, I don't even need a lot of sauce as well. So for the sriracha, I literally just do a sprinkle. A serving of sriracha is 5 grams. And just because I'm a little bit of, again, a weirdo, like I do 4. I don't do a full serving. And then for the new sauce, you get about 15 grams for 5 calories. So I'm going to do about 10 grams measured, which is going to be, 2 or 3 calories. It means nothing, but to me, again, I want to make sure I'm controlling the variables and not overdoing anything, because it's very easy to just drizzle a bunch of sauce and then you're like, that's good, but then those hidden calories add up. And then now when you're stuck, weight is plateauing, you're like, what is going on? You could be adding 50, 100 calories from just sauces that you're not accounting for the whole day. So that right there, see, I'm going to stop right there. That's 8 grams, more than enough for me. I get the flavor, I get the taste, and I don't need to drown it in the sauce because the chicken in itself tastes good. I got the salt in there, and I'm happy. So meal 2 going down. Got one more before we go train delts today, so I'll show you that next. But time to get this down. 48, yep. All right, on to the next. So meal 3 is my pre-workout meal. I'm making it now ahead of time because I like eating it cold. So what we have is another 200 grams of rice and grinds, a little 200 hundo special. You guys know how much I love carrot cake, so I didn't even mix flavors. It's just a straight 200 grams of carrot cake. And then we do a serving and a half of whey protein. Been using a lot of the Accent Sledge product, the farm fed stuff, all really good. I love the honey peanut butter. I have this cinnamon pastry one, but right now I'm gonna use the never ending chocolates. So what I'm gonna make is basically a whey iso drip to put on top of the cream of rice. Old school guys call this sludge. New school guys call it iso drip. So, and legit all it is you're gonna put your protein, measure out how much you need. This is for me, I need 33 starts. What is that, 16.5? So 49.5. I had to do a little math there. Put it in a cup that you can mix really well into. And all it is just the protein powder and water. And you don't need a lot of water. You just need enough for it to mix and get the right consistency, but you don't want it too liquidy. So you gotta just stir and mix. Get a little bit of water. And we're just gonna stir it, add a little bit every time, and just be able to get enough. There you go. Put a little bit of elbow grease into it, and honestly, I don't think I'm gonna need that much water. I like it right where it's at. Make sure we get all of the mix in there.
I feel like you could tell if like you pull it up and it like comes off.
Yeah, watch this. Yeah, see. I like that. So what we're gonna do, just to even solidify it a little more. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna put this in the freezer for like literally 2-3 minutes. And then throw it on top of the cream rice, then stick the cream rice in the fridge. Typically, my pre-workout meal usually has peanut butter in it, but I'm assuming the thought process with my coach is that because everything is so heavy carbs today, that we don't want digestion to slow from the fats, and so we just removed it. And I've had enough food in these first 3 meals that I shouldn't burn through it all the way, and there should be enough glycogen for me to get a really nasty pump today at the gym and have all those carbs hold me over. And again, that's why we don't want the fast to slow down. We got delts today on the menu. I'm honestly really looking forward to see how the pump looks today. I woke up this morning super peeled, but also very flat. So it was honestly a perfect time for a refeed. And now we get to see how all of that comes together. So see you in a little bit. Oh yeah, that's perfect right here. So we do scoop it. I'm gonna scoop it all out. See, everyone loves the creamy, which is good. I like the creamy too, but this is my jam right here. This is what I get stuck on. And it's just a little bit easier to make, and it's super easy to do. It's super quick to do as well. Let's see. Let's see real quick. Basically just spread it on top like a...
It's like icing.
Yeah, oh, icing. I was gonna say like crust, but like, yeah, it's like an icing. That's why, honestly, if you have this in your plan and you know how to make good cream of rice, you have good tasting protein, sometimes really easy to diet. Like this curbs my sweet tooth so much. And I've been having this meal or this variation of cream of rice, protein powder, and peanut butter literally since I started bodybuilding. I think I've told you guys this before, but now with the ISO drip, it's like I just discovered something brand new again. So, you know, dieting, I know I'm eating a lot of food and I'm in a good mood, but dieting is not that hard when you can do things like this, you know? It's not the worst thing in the world. You're not necessarily eating dirt chicken and broccoli and rice every meal. Cool. Happy there. Cinnamon on anything sweet. Boom. This. It's my Mona Lisa right there. I'm proud of how I make my cream of rice. Because it is a science. And a lot of people mess it up. That's why I also measure water, because some people can do with just eyeballing the water. If I eyeball the water, I'm gonna mess it up every time. So always measure it. Sorry, big dog. My rule of thumb is always 1 gram of rice and grind or cream rice to 3-4 grams of water, depending on how you like the consistency. So let's say you're doing 90 grams of cream rice, at least 270 grams of water. I put it closer to like 300, 350, right around there. All right, so it is now a couple hours later, 12:20. We got delts again in an hour with Andy and Prob. So I'm getting this meal down. But like I was saying earlier, guys, like this right here, this is like heaven in a bowl. Like this literally just tastes like dessert. If you haven't tried it yet, like highly recommend you like trying cream of rice cold. I think the flavor tastes a lot better, and when you stick it in the fridge or the freezer, the iso drip on top kind of crust over, and again it's like a legit icing. Funny enough, after those first 2 meals, I can feel my metabolism picking up because I'm actually hungry for this meal, and I've had essentially 3 meals, about 300-400 grams of carbs in a 5-6 hour span, and I'm actually hungry. So Also good data for us because those first 2 meals, digestion was amazing, A1. It didn't feel like I was bloated, didn't feel like I was having issues. So that's really good data for us in terms of like the plan we put in theory is also now working in lifetime. So definitely something we could possibly implement into our peak in terms of how we load the carbs. Um, Now, again, just interested to see how this sits in the gym, how everything feels fullness wise and performance wise. Because, like I told you guys earlier, like I was peeled this morning, but I was pretty flat, feeling pretty depleted. So, I'm really hoping that this gives me some pop in the gym and that this food today carries over into tomorrow's look. And we'll see how that goes. What is up? Okay, so we are here at the movies. We just got done training. We didn't really film any of that. We just got in and out of there. I trained with Andy, and then Alex trained back in Hams. But we had a little date day set up. We're gonna go watch the new Fantastic Four movie, which I'm really excited to see. I drag Alex to all the superhero movies, so she kind of plays along and tags along. But we got our meal 4 post workout right here. I got 300 grams of jasmine rice, 5 ounces of chicken breast, and now all of our heavier meals are out of the way, and we're starting to taper the actual carbohydrates down. I also don't really use any sauce. I pull out the veggies. I've found that for me personally, even if it's not a refeed day, I've had better success, less gas, less bloating when I use less veggies. I know for some people, you guys use veggies to keep you full, but it's a double-edged sword. So again, that's how I kind of do things. Just chicken and rice. I got my diet soda. She has her meal. What do you have?
Steak and rice.
So she got steak and rice, and I think she got a little bit of guacamole. We're frequent movie flyers, and we always bring our food. So we're gonna enjoy this in the theater. Um, I'll let you guys know. We'll let you guys know how the movie is. Again, super super excited for this one, and we'll check you guys back with the next meal, the final meal of the nights. Arena. All right. Final meal of the nights. We have another 300 grams jasmine rice, a little vegetable medley of just asparagus and bell peppers again, right around 50 grams, and just like a garnish of cilantro. And then I have my normal 5 ounces of top sirloin steak. It's about 8:30, so usually this time I eat my last meal, and I'm actually starving. It's crazy. We did this review, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be going into this day, going to bed like happy and full. But like I told you guys earlier, my metabolism is just ramping up just from today, and I'm literally starving. So gonna get this down. Gonna go do a little bit of client work, get ready for bed, and then do it all over again tomorrow. I'm probably gonna check in tomorrow, see where my weight's at, see how the difference from this morning to tomorrow morning's look is. Get that over to Ariel and see what he thinks. And maybe we'll add that into this video too, just to end the video, so you guys can see like what the actual refeed did or didn't do and what the weight looked like. So we'll probably add that in. If we don't add anything more to this video, I hope you guys like this one. I know you guys really like the last full day of eating, and I'm sure this one's gonna be a fun one to watch. If you guys could, I really would appreciate it if you guys liked it, subscribe to the page, watched it, and do all the things that you need to do for YouTube to help me out. And we'll keep doing these. Until next time, peace.